Okay everyone, here we are at my desk with my nifty little keyboard and staff whiteboard here, and I'm just going to give you a quick introduction to the piano keyboard, and here's why. It is a brilliant visual illustration of a lot of the concepts that we're going to be learning. I use the keyboard to show things to my classes all the time, particularly when it comes to key signatures. So it's kind of nice to at least have an introduction to how the keyboard is structured and where those letter names that you learned about in the pitch video come in. So, as many of you know who have ever kind of played around on a keyboard, we have black notes and we have white notes, and the black notes go in groups of 2 and 3, every other one, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. And we use those black notes to kind of figure out where the letter names are, what pitch is which. If it were all straight up white notes, we'd never know where to put our fingers. So it's important to have those black notes as sort of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of one of those anchors, I guess. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, so you're going to use the same letter names as you did for the staff. So A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and then after G it starts over again and at A. Now, one of the easy ways that I like to find things, one thing that I used to teach my younger piano students, is that when you find a group of 2, any group of 2, the one in between, the white note in between, is always a D. And one thing I stole from another teacher is that D is for doggy with the 2 black ears. You got the 2 black ears up at the top. Might be silly, but if it helps you remember, awesome. Okay, now when we use the musical alphabet up on the staff, we'd go this direction. The alphabet would go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, F, G up the staff. For us on the keyboard, up on the staff means to the right on the keyboard. So after A, B, C, D, we get E, F, G, after G comes A, B, C, D, E. Okay, and it just keeps repeating. And we can go back and do that again down here, or we can go, oh look, there's another group of 2. This must be a D. We could work our way up and down that direction, or you can start recognizing where these letter names are in relationship to the black notes. So for instance, on the right hand side of your group of 2 black notes is always going to be E. With your group of 3 black notes, this one on the right hand side in the middle is always going to be A. You can just find them that way. That's how we find them as we play piano. But as you go back and forth, this direction is backwards in the alphabet, and this direction is forward in the alphabet. So as you fill them out, you get C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Now obviously this is not a full keyboard. A full keyboard would have 88 keys. This is just a couple of octaves. But you can see how the letters repeat and how that might be applicable on the staff up here. I'm just going to go ahead and get that arrow out of here. So you can actually start, let's pretend that this is middle C. Right there. Okay, and I'm going to go up here and show you how these keys coordinate with what's on the staff. I'm going to put middle C right here in the middle. And I'm not going to, you could make it hover towards treble or towards bass clef depending on the context, but we're just going to put smack dab in the middle for now. Okay, so here is your C. Right there. That's what it looks like on the staff, and that's the key that you would have on the keyboard. As I keep going, we'd have D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And you can draw little lines if you want. That one, E, so this middle C right here, that's where it crosses over. This side of it would be treble clef, generally speaking. This side of it would be bass clef. It's a great way to think of it when you're first starting out. Of course, there are some exceptions later on, but we'll deal with those when they happen. Okay, so moving down this direction, going backwards in our alphabet, there's C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Now we have, and I'm going to use solid lines for these, these notes here. So you can see how this might be helpful if, for instance, you were wanting to look at the notes on the page of your choral music and want to know exactly what it sounds like and be able to play it on a keyboard. Well, this is how you start decoding it. Now later on we'll have key signatures and stuff that might throw you off a little bit, start using the black notes a little bit, but you can see how these relate and how we'll be using them in the future. It'd be a really good idea, if you haven't done so already, to look through the link for this video on musictheory.net, where it has you recognize what's on the staff and how it would look like on the keyboard. Because the more you can do that really, really well, the better off you're going to be. So if you're interested in a little bit more depth on the keyboard, of course, I think most of you know this, but the other course that I'm doing online is Keyboard Fundamentals. So being able to play your own part just by looking at the staff. So we will be learning a little bit more in depth about how this keyboard stuff works and how you would be playing it on the piano, anything from pentatonic and major and minor scales to some very basic sight reading on the staff in both treble and bass clef. So if that's something you're interested in, feel free to double up in this class and in piano or in keyboard fundamentals.